Hi, hello! It has been a while since my last talking video. If you don't know, it's me, Pink Bunny Girl 43 here, Lily. For those of you who don't know, this channel has been going through a bit of a barren time as far as in regards to content, and I'm so sorry for that. It's been a rough year, 2023. Back in July, I found out that my sweet baby that I've had for the last 13 years, my kitty Cookie, that she had oral cancer and she passed away in December. It's just been a really hard time. I really want to make a memorial of Cookie, showing all the cute pictures and videos I have of her over the past few years, but right now it's still a little bit hard to look at all those things, so might be a while before I do that. We've been pretty unlucky these last few years with a lot of our elderly cats getting sick and passing away. We lost Delilah in December of 2021, and Lucy passed away in February of 2022. And so now we only have our 3 little boy cats, Cream, Artie, and Miko. So yeah, all in all, it's been a rough last few years. As my sister and I have been looking back, we've been thinking, wow, we've lost so many cats. We had 7 cats just a few years ago, and we lost 5 in the last 5 years. We've only adopted 1 new cat in that time, which was Miko. We also had some deaths in our family with having our grandpas pass away, my mom's dad and my dad's dad. Very sad. But life is finally starting to slow down a little bit. I'm hoping that 2024 can be a good year, at least in regards to being able to be creative again and make some content here on this channel. In the time that my sister and I have not been posting here, we've been pouring a lot of our focus and efforts into our Etsy shop, which is Pink Bunny Girl 43 over on Etsy. And I am super proud of what we've accomplished over there on building our small business and learning better ways to make customs to make them more durable. And I'm really proud of where we're at right now. We were able to make 800 customs in 2023, with 500 of those just being in the last 3 to 4 months of the year. That was quite the accomplishment, and I hope to do even more customs in 2024. We currently have quite a few orders we're working on currently for Etsy of some OCs and known characters and even paint your owns. So for these talking videos, sometimes it might be me painting a custom. Right now this is me painting on some Fireheart customs for Forest of Secrets. I'm making a new standing Fireheart, a sitting Fireheart, a laying Fireheart, and him in a loaf pose. So cute, and I'm so excited to use these in the episodes. But yeah, for future talking videos like this, I think it'd be cool to just have whatever I'm talking about. If you guys want to just sit and listen, maybe watch if you want to, but the visuals for this one is me painting on the Fireheart customs. In the future, it might be me painting on OCs or other custom orders or different customs for Forest of Secrets, or maybe it'll be just a screen recording of me editing an episode, or maybe it'll be a speed paint, I don't know. It'll just be something to watch if you want to, or you can just play the audio in the background and listen in to whatever I'm talking about. Recently, I've been enjoying some more just longer form audio content, so I thought I'd try to create something like that for you guys, if any of you are interested. But what I wanted to talk about today was some of my plans for the year and what I'd like to do with series and episodes on my channel going forward. So as you might have seen, I am working on some customs for Forest of Secrets right now, so I do have plans to continue Forest of Secrets, at least for now. I have received audio files back from voice actors for all the episodes 7 through 16. I actually scripted and got audio back for these episodes, mostly all in 2021, if you can believe it. That is insane. Life has just, as I said, been crazy, and I just have not been on top of my episode game for a really long time. But I want to get back into it. And so I'm hoping to accomplish that by using episodes 7 through 16 as kind of my trial run of a new style of making the episodes. I got this new device for Christmas as a little present to myself called the Foldio 360, and it takes pictures of anything you put in it with really nice lighting, and it does like a little rotation spin of them, so you can take good photos from every angle. For my purposes, the customs, or maybe I can put a set piece in there like a rock or something, and I want to work on the episodes and make them in a different way than I ever have before. Instead of me filming the episodes like I did before, I want to kind of create them more like in Photoshop. So like take images of the custom and edit them together in Final Cut. So no more fingers anymore, and there'll be like facial expressions on the customs and their heads will still move and stuff like that. And they'll be able to walk and stuff. There just won't be fingers and it won't be filmed with a camera. So it'll be more like animated kind of in like a stop-go motion form. I think it'll be super cool, but I haven't yet gotten a chance to try out my ideas for it yet because I need some new customs for Forest of Secrets, because through our creation process with the customs, we've changed up our style a little bit since the last time I filmed episodes, so I want the customs in the episodes to reflect where we're currently at with our stylization of the customs and such. But yeah, even though I only have plans right now to create 10 more episodes of Forest of Secrets, there is a lot of fun and interesting content that is going to happen within those episodes. Like Fireheart saving Mistyfoot's kits. That's pretty cool, and I'm excited to see with my new process how I'm going to make that happen. Over the last few years, I've gotten more into photography and stuff, and I have taken a lot of really cool pictures throughout my travels. Last summer, Rachel and I went to Oregon and went to Multnomah Falls, and I took some really cool videos and pictures of the river and the falls and stuff, and I think that could really work well with that scene. And I'm excited to see maybe how I could use videos and realistic backgrounds with the customs in it to see how that would look. I think it'd look really cool. Honestly, it just feels so good to be excited about making content again. So continuing on with my rough plans of what I'd like to do next after I finish these 16 episodes of Forest of Secrets and get a better grasp of how I'll make the episodes going forward, I kind of got the inkling a few months back, and I couldn't believe it, honestly. I was like, what, really? But I want to restart the series from the beginning. And not the beginning that you're thinking of, not Into the Wild. I want to start back even further than that. All the way, perhaps even back to ancient times in the clans. And kind of build up a full timeline of events, with my own little twists and turns to make it a little bit more original. I know I've heard the Warrior Cat team has some stricter policies these days. They don't want fan content that isn't transformative, so I'm gonna go forward with changing things up a little bit, so that it's definitely not verbatim coming from the books. Not that my content really has ever been that, because we're always cutting out a lot of content with all of the thinking and inner monologuing that always happens in the books and such. And we always make changes to make plot lines make a lot more sense, and you know, if you've seen my content, you know it's not the exact same as the book, always. Especially going forward with some of our future episodes of Forest of Secrets, we try to draw more connections and background things about what's happening with Tiger Claw, and like drawing his connections to Broken Tail and such. So it is already transformative, but I think it'd be fun and just interesting to me for my own mind and creativity to make things a little bit more interesting as well. It is kind of hard though with Warrior Cats to find that perfect starting point, especially for an entire series reboot, of where to start from. There's so much content that happens previous to Fireheart's story with Blue Star and Yellow Fang and Crooked Star and Tall Star. There's just so much stuff. And honestly, those super editions are some of my absolute favorite pieces of content from the series, so I definitely want to go there and do those things. Make those characters come to life in a new way, showing scenes from their life that have never before been seen on YouTube. Most people are always just starting with Into the Wild, and I want to do something more than that, and eventually get back to the Into the Wild point and continue forward from there. But I feel like the thing that's been lacking, for me at least in my content, is a solid foundation to build upon for the series. So much of what happens in the future, especially with the future series, like the new Prophecy series and Power of Three and Omen of the Stars and all those things, are the characters that are established within the first arc and even the prequels, like the super editions and such. Because a lot of characters that we're meant to care about in future arcs that are way out there, like the Broken Code, it doesn't feel like the characters that they built up to be the main characters in those series, like for example an Ashfur, that he was really that well developed throughout the new Prophecy series as anything other than just a love interest for Squirrelflight. He didn't seem that dimensional of a character. I just did a reread of the new Prophecy series over the last month. I went through and I picked them up and I read those books. I'm so proud of myself. And now I'm continuing on with The Power of Three, and I'm on the site currently. And I'm just getting so many ideas for a potential reboot while I'm reading these books. And currently with my reread, I'm trying to gather information of what's important to the overarching narrative going forward. So what details are important versus what are some things that are just fluff. Fluff is good if it's important, but there's a lot of things that could be cut out of the Warrior series for some elements, like they spend a lot of time squabbling over boundaries and stuff like that, and unnecessarily hunting. And for a book, that's really good for showing a narrative and getting inside the characters' minds and everything. But for like a television show-esque thing of like a series that's basically like just talking out loud for a YouTube series, then it doesn't really make sense to have your characters in their brains so much thinking all the time. Especially as I've been getting onto the site currently. J-Paw only says about 20% of all the nasty things he thinks. It's hilarious, but I imagine it would be difficult to make into a series with him thinking in his brain so much. And there really are some beautiful descriptions of everything, but I'm just trying to think of how could it be made into episodes. So I kind of want this series to be like me looking through the books, kind of in a style similar to Super Carlin Brothers, who I'm a big fan of. They just started a podcast called Through the Griffin Door, and in that podcast they kind of just open up the book and they don't read from the book all the time. They sometimes do, but they're mostly just discussing each point as they look at the book, like, oh, so here they're doing this, and this is an idea I had about that and such. So that's kind of what I'd like to do with this little audio series that I have, playing over some visuals of some creative stuff I've been doing recently. But that's my plan. So to look at the books and talk about my ideas for a reboot, because I really need some help and constructive ideas of how it would be really cool, because I want you guys, the viewers, to be able to enjoy the content that I create. So for starters, I know we're this far in the video and I'm just saying for starters, I want to start thinking about the original clan lore. The great clans, you know, Tiger Clan, Leopard Clan, and Lion Clan. These great clans are not mentioned very much throughout the series, a lot more throughout the first arc, with Greypaw telling Firepaw one time like something about Spotty Clan, remember Spotty Clan? And talking about how cool the cats in Lion Clan and stuff were. And then of course we know Tiger Claw wants to make the clan Tiger Clan again, and eventually Tiger and Lion meet in battle with that prophecy in the Prophecies Begin series. So it makes me wonder, how important is this big cat great clans important to the lore? I think it's super cool. I would love to have it tie in somehow, because I would love to make customs of cute little tigers and lions and leopards. It'd be so much fun. But I just want to think of a super great way to tie in this lore into the clans. Because kind of my rough idea I just got the other day was for a potential series start is with Fallen Leaves. He's super excited. He's about to go and do his run through the tunnel to become a Sharp Claw. And he's asking his mother about the clan lore of their ancient ties, because this is like, Fallen Leaves is like one of our first connections to the ancient cats, so I think it'd be kind of fun to open up with, tell me the stories of our ancestors, kind of thing from Fallen Leaves. It's a rough idea I have, I know it's rough, but... And so his mother tells him a little story about the great cats. So the other day I made a community tab post. You might be seeing some community tab posts from me in the coming days and weeks, and if you comment on it, I might read your comment here on my little video series that I've got going on here. So I asked you guys over there, what do you think about the ancients and warrior cat history lore, about those great clans? Do you think that it's important to the clan lore? And I asked y'all, why is there only 3 ancient clans instead of 4 or maybe 5, you know, because there's 5 original clans. I know that there was only 3 ancient tribe clans, led by 3 different cats, but I don't remember if those like groups had separate names from each other. So I was kind of wondering, why aren't more big cats represented, potentially, to account for Wind Clan and Sky Clan, or whoever they account for. So I gave some suggestions of some clans I thought of, looking at a quick Google search of some big cats that I think are cool. I thought maybe Cheetah Clan, Panther Clan, or Jaguar Clan. I know panthers are a little bit questionable on whether they exist of their own. They're kind of just a color variation of either a jaguar or a leopard, but just for simplicity's sake, panther clan, I don't know. And I'm also open to potentially dropping the word clan from any names, but I don't know how that would really work going forward, but I'm open to hearing ideas. I know that it's kind of like a Harry Potter-esque thing of being like a Hufflepuff or a Gryffindor. It's like Wind Clan, Thunder Clan, Shadow Clan. And they have like characteristics and stuff that make them interesting and fun. So if we were to lose that element, it might detract from the series, but it might also lead to it being completely different as well. I don't know. But it could just be, we are the cats that live in the forest, we're the cats who live in the marshes, the cats who live in the moor, and the cats who live by the river. I don't know, but I'm open to potentially changing that as well. So going through the comments, some thoughts that I saw were, some people thought that maybe the connection to lions and tigers and leopards was maybe connected to Bravelands, the other Aaron's series. I have not read that series, so if you have, let me know down below whether Bravelands is connected in any way to Warrior Cats. I'm not sure if it is. I haven't read the Seekers series or Survivors either. So I don't know if they are connected in any way, shape, or form to Warrior Cats or not. So let me know down below if you do know the answer to that. One person thought that Lion Clan is like Thunder Clan, Tiger Clan is like Shadow Clan, and Jaguar Clan is like River Clan. And they thought that they liked one of my added clan names of Cheetah Clan for being Wind Clan potentially. And they said that that would be a good fit because despite cheetahs not being classified as a big cat, they are known for their excellent speed and their slender bodies, but they're also the weakest. And that is a good connection to Wind Clan because Wind Clan often does have a lot of struggles and is seen as the weakest clan, especially in the Prophecy Begins series. And the Jaguar Clan, one of my suggestions, would be good for River Clan because jaguars are known for their swimming abilities and known to hunt crocodiles in the water, and they don't mind the water at all. In fact, they love it. Leopard Clan would be a good fit for Sky Clan because the big cats have amazing climbing abilities and they're able to carry heavy prey up to the trees. There are a lot of cool videos online of leopards eating up in trees and even hunting in the trees, which I think is so cool. For the last day or so, I've kind of been kicking around the idea in the old noggin of potentially having there be absolutely no two legs in the lake territories. Because I think the whole two-leg conflict and everything is kind of overplayed throughout the Prophecies Begins and the beginning half of the new prophecy. So I think when the cats go to their new territory, they should be able to completely escape seeing humans ever again, because why should they have to deal with humans again? And I just don't think that we should see any more kitty pets or stuff like that again. I think there could be other conflicts with other animals or more interesting conflicts than just with two legs in the future. So I've been kind of playing around with the potential idea of that the lake territories might even be like that they had to travel through a portal or that they were kicked out of a kingdom there of cats, like the group of cats that left to go off to the mountains. Like they passed through some sort of portal, potentially of a different universe of realm, and that when they traveled into the mountains and onwards, and then they entered the human world. But then when in the new prophecy, when they leave and go back through, they enter this world where everything is different. Star Clan and the Dark Forest interact differently with the world. And I think that would make sense because in the original arcs and super editions and such, Star Clan was the leading force, but really only through the spiritual guides of the medicine cats and such. And there was almost no hint of the Dark Forest having any element of interaction with cats at all. I know that in novellas and such, they try to shoehorn and retcon in ideas of the Dark Forest and such, but I think those should really be separated into different timeline events. Of that the Dark Forest wasn't able to have any impact on the cats in this before time, where they lived in these territories, and then when they moved house and moved to a completely new land, that they then had a completely different connection with the Dark Forest and Star Clan. I've been planning a lot of ideas that would be interesting for the new prophecy, and I'll talk about those in the far-off future when I get to those books in my discussions that I'm going to have here. But those are just some ideas I have for now, for the potential that there's no two-leg connections in future arcs. So any characters that are kitty pets will be something else. They won't be kitty pets. And that makes Fireheart more interesting that he was a kitty pet, because there won't be very many more. Another thing that I think would be cool to change with ancients and stuff is to have how the cats, when they leave that potential society of cats, is that when they go to the tribes and stuff, they keep some of the elements that they had in the tribes, as we know them from the books, of there being hunters and guards and separate tasks for cats. I really liked the idea that maybe when a cat turns 5 moons old or 6 moons old, whatever, that when they turn that age, they start a kind of assessment period where they can try out a bunch of different tasks. So there's like builders and maybe rangers, which are kind of like guards that they go around the territory and take care of the territory, go on border patrols all the time. That each kit gets to shadow in different positions throughout the clan for 1 month at the beginning of their training. And then it's decided by the clan leader based on where they fit best into the clan, where they'll serve for the rest of their life, and become an apprentice to the cats in that role. So there might be builder apprentices, like I said, either guards or rangers. Kind of like the idea of rangers because it seems less aggressive. I'd really like there to be less aggression between the 4 or 5 clans, whatever amount of clans there is, because I just think a lot of that's unnecessary angst. I don't know. I think the cats should be a little bit more civil towards each other and not be so secretive and hiding things all the time and being fake at gatherings like, oh yeah, we're totally fine. Haha, we're dying. Not gonna tell anyone though. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of plot points are just from the cats hiding stuff from each other. And I love the book so much, but for my own purposes of creativity and story writing for myself, I just like to slightly go in a different direction. And then I kind of like the idea of the medicine cats perhaps being called healers instead of medicine cats. I like the idea of maybe trackers being in the clan, hunters, trackers or hunters, I don't know, something like that. And potentially that there are some cats who are caregivers. It's kind of like being a medicine cat, but not really. They kind of just help out the medicine cats. Kind of like for those queens that are always in the nursery, so maybe somebody could apprentice to be a caregiver, either a tom or a she cat, but they just help out with the queens in the nursery and take care of kids, take care of the elders, and just generally do caregiving things throughout the clan. And I think that'd be a really good thing to give a role to some of those cats who just seem like they don't really want to live the super tough fighting life. And so yeah, I think that for my changes to the series, there would not be the role of warrior. So then it wouldn't really be copyright infringement of the whole warrior cat franchise and such because they wouldn't really be warrior cats. If I do make episodes of this, I think for starters, if we were to start like in ancient times or something, it might just be titled Dawn of the Clans, if they are clans. I might also decide not to call them clans. So I don't know what it'll be titled or something, but I just have a lot of love for the series and encouraging people to pick up books and be excited about reading and learning and having a love for cats and creativity, and I just love everything the Warrior Cat series has brought, and I want to continue making content around it or related to it in some way, shape, or form. I think I've rambled on enough for one video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this little painting video of Fireheart, and this I did accomplish getting stripes on one side of all the Firehearts. So I hope you had fun watching that. I will eventually be using this footage again for a full tutorial on how to paint Fireheart, and I'll be doing my own explanations and everything of how to paint him, so don't worry too much about that. I'll make that video later. But I hope you enjoyed this little talking video. Let me know your thoughts on all the ideas I shared down below in the comments, and maybe I'll read your comment in a future video and respond to it. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!